Hello and good evening. Oh bloody hell. Already started, have you guys? Shit. So we got Cameron Williams, Richard Rabbit again. Happy days. Um Here we go. Blah 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 blah. Him and Welsh Gamer. Talking nonsense again. Ellis Williams is in. How's it going? Evening Luke. Nick Muller. Bet you're happy with yourself at the moment. Happy days for Ipswich, of course. So, guys, tonight's stream, what we got. So, I'm going to be taking your questions first. That'll be the starter. Focus 10 kicking in after 10 minutes. We're 10 minutes. We're going to be talking about the offside rule and does it need changing. Also, I have 8 questions for you guys tonight, and as per usual, I have some trivia for you also. So, gentlemen and ladies, if there's any ladies in the house tonight. Oh, hold on a minute. Right then. So Exeter won both games in 88th and 89th minute. So super scenes and limbs for you guys there. Evening Matthew, Tom 1 2 3 4 5. Thoughts on the first round of the Prem games? Who will win the Prem? Can't really tell from the first round of games, to be honest with you, but it's quite clear that Liverpool and City are going to be front runners for it again. Whether it's going to be just the two of them, whether Tottenham's resurgence against Villa is showing the fighting spirit they've got, whether Manchester United's 4-0 demolition of Chelsea is showing that they're going to be back up in it again. We don't know. Always got to wait for a few games before you can determine. So Marcus May is having a laugh at Frank Lampard's expense. Oh, bloody hell. Favala. Dan Butler has not impressed so far. Is he a slow burner? He was a bit of a slow burner for the county. He turned out to be one of our best players, one of the best I've ever even seen in a county shirt, to be honest with you. So it's one of those players you've got to give him a bit of time to adapt to the way that you play. He adapted to the way Flinney played, and he adapted to that extremely well. So Peterborough need to give him a bit of time, I think, if he's not doing so well at the moment. So Lee Culverson, evening Taff, Argyle here. So you're looking forward to coming up to us next Saturday. Your 100% record is in jeopardy, I can promise you that much. Dan Short, hey Taff, Pool 1-4-1 against Farnborough this week. Good result for Pool, happy days. Bournemouth did not so great really at home to Sheffield United, but it was a late goal that got them back into the game, of course. So, Anyway, where are we now? Nick Muller still unbeaten. Yeah, there's a different story to last season. North Devon Gresham have Swindon next week. Both teams won both. So, there's going to be one 100% record going in League Two then next week. More than likely going to be 2 when Plymouth come to our place. Luke County, Lampard starting shite team tonight. Maint, Tammy, Christian, not top 4 quality. Well, funny enough, I've got a question of mine which is of that essence, so I'll leave my points until I ask that question to you guys later. Labs is in. Evening, mate. Martin Clark, how you doing? Taff, I'm doing well, mate. How are you doing? Lee, Devon is red and white. Here we go. We're going to have a Devon rivalry little spat on you now, aren't we? Dan Short, they are top of the league after 1 game. Oh, there we go then. Go Pool. Happy days. So bloody hell, it's barely 4 minutes. Fair play to Bolton playing kids this weekend, average age 19, and they managed to get a good 0-0 draw against Coventry. So good on them. I'm hoping that there may be a few teams out there who may be able to loan them a couple of players without taking any wages off them. A couple of local teams of Bolton, like so, Man City maybe, Liverpool, Man United. I think there's a few others in the area like Everton and that. Will have good players who they could potentially loan out to them. Lee Colson, Devon is green and white and always will be. See, told you. Here we go. Let's get the popcorn out and just let these two take over, I reckon. That'll be quite fun. So, North Devon, Grecian, Newport in September. Can't wait for that game. Yeah, I always look forward to the Devon games, but only when we're at home. When we go away, we always get, felt up by the police all the time. Norwich off to a bad start. Well, losing at Anfield, I wouldn't call that a bad start, to be honest with you. Marcus May, Coventry had 3 goals disallowed for offside. That's mad. And they haven't even got VAR in League One either. Jeez. Now, where are we? EW Labs need 3 points versus Plymouth, but I feel they'll be too good for us. Never say that, mate. I mean, we beat Lincoln at home last season. We beat Bury at home last season as well. So I think all of the top 3, except for MK Dons, of course, but the top 2 we beat at home. Right then. So North Devon Grecian is having a poke at Plymouth Rovers ending up in League 2. Fair play. After first round of Premier League fixtures, who do you think will go down? Can't really tell on that much, to be honest with you, because there was a few surprising results, a few results where a few teams won't expect to be as bad as that for the rest of the season. There'll be a few teams who did good this weekend who won't be able to keep that up for the season, so it's difficult to work out who will go down. But if you're basing it off the first round of Premier League fixtures, the surprise of the season so far, potentially, is looking like it could be Brighton. What a win. I'm going to be bringing that up later as well, of course. Bluebirds TV, how's it going, mate? I'd imagine not too good for you guys at the moment. Not the best of starts, a loss and a draw. You know, a late equaliser to... oh, no, sorry, no, you won, didn't you? What am I on about? I'm fucking talking shit. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Brooklyn League, bring on Saturday at Port 2-1. Yeah, I'm thinking 2-1 could be a good one. There you go, last minute winner yesterday, yeah. So, scenes for you guys as well. Marcus, do you like playing at St Andrews? I can't say I've ever been, to be honest with you. Last minute winner, oh yeah, sorry, we've had that one. EW Labs, but we've drawn to bloody Cambridge somehow. For those of you who weren't there, I was there. It was a very poor game of football. We were nowhere near as good as we were in the first half against Mansfield, or for the second half, second part of the second half, for that matter either. Just one of them games, you know. I mean, we had the better of the chances. They had chances, but the one thing that I'm taking from it that's a positive is that I never really felt at any point that we were going to lose the game. Even when they were pushing forward, I thought, I can't see them scoring. I could never really feel that they were going to score. Although Jamil Matt should have had a penalty. That's a cert. That was right in front of me, and he was rugby tackled. It was as blatant a penalty as you'd have wanted. Just as blatant as the one he should have had in the playoff final. And yes, I won't just forget about that either. So, Marcus, mate, I'm a Leeds/Newport fan. Oh, I tell you what, I'd have liked it if you'd have put Newport before Leeds. Then that would have been alright. Dan Short, I'd like to say Saints, West Ham and Brighton. As the going down teams, you think? Right, into Chris J. If the drummer takes his drum to every away game, 15 of my mates will go to every away game this season. Well, the only reason he didn't take his drum yesterday was because he wasn't sure on the Bar Amber opening times. Basically, we've made a bit of a deal with the landlord of Bar Amber that we can leave all our stuff in there to save people having to drag it home, and you know, for all the flags to be in my boot when I need all my boot space for work and stuff like that. I mean, I keep the flags we take away, which doesn't take up much space, but I don't want to be filling it with all Newport County stuff when I need to use it for work, you know. But I get the feeling you're kidding there, but if you're not, that's awesome, and you'll be there more or less every game with the drum. Now he's sorted himself out with Bar Amber. EW Labs, also fair play to Mansfield, 2-0 down and came back 2 weeks in a row. And had a man sent off mind as well. Crazy. Extra bot promotion last 5 years running. True story, mind. True story. Lee, you couldn't survive in League One, so what's the point in you going up? Well, I suppose you could say the same to anybody who gets promoted. So Nick Muller. When FA Cup first round draw... When is the first round FA Cup draw? It is the... First round of the FA Cup is the start of November. Then second round start of December, third round start of January, and so on and so on. I think the fourth round is towards the end of January then. I think they condense the fixtures that little bit more. So anyway, that's bringing us right up to the 10-minute point. That's a good point to catch up, guys. We're going to go on to Focus 10 very shortly. So, Focus 10 today is going to be about the offside rule. Does the offside rule need changing? 1 minute. Where are we now? Luke County, Salford odds on for first round TV fixture. 100% yes. So am I going to the cup game? I'm not going to the one in the week now. So anyway, focus 10. The offside rule does it need changing, and I bullet pointed 4 key points for this one. There's an argument about there being clear daylight. So there's your defender, there's your attacker, clear daylight between the two. Is that what offside should be? Not, just an armpit is what they were calling it with Raheem Sterling yesterday, or a toe, or a nose hair, Should there be something clear between the defender and the attacker? So if we're looking at it this way, defender, so should there be at least a clear, or should there be a bit of daylight? That's one of the points, is should there be the daylight between the two? Body parts counting, I think I touched on that, whether your finger's offside or whatever, or your toe, or your bollocks or whatever, I don't know. But, should that be a thing? I don't think it should myself, but we're going to come to that. Advantage to the attacker, that's how it used to be. That's what I used to think it was anyway. If it was looking like they were in line, the advantage would go to the attacker. Is that dead and buried now? And then account for time differences between the attacker and the ball player. So basically, when they freeze it, it's at the point that the foot makes contact with the ball. But then, that could be a few milliseconds. You may hit the ball, but then, that might not get it at the precise time. And if that's not the precise time, is that the precise time when the player has got his ball here in front of the defender? So should there be a window of a few microseconds? If they're using this technology, surely they could implement something like this. So basically, they're the 4 bullet points that I've put together on the whole, does the offside rule need changing? What's your thought, guys? I've rambled on about it for 2 minutes. Let's see what you guys have had to say. So Labs is saying offside should be if the player gets a clear advantage, a kneecap isn't advantage, but a whole leg is. Good point. VAR will decide. Should be footing on ground. Yeah, I'd go along with that one. Yeah, it should be clear daylight. So a lot of people basically saying that it should be a little bit more than just like a foot or a toe or a finger or a little bit of an arm or an elbow or whatever, edging out in front. It should be something of significance on the other side. I think so. I think if they're saying about something that could potentially score a goal, you can't score a goal with your hand or your armpit. You can't go in and try and score like that, can you? It just don't work like that. So I honestly think the rule does need changing. I mean, I know Marcus has asked a Salford versus Leeds score prediction. We'll come back to that, although I do hope Leeds absolutely fucking hammer them. The sooner Salford are out of our league and the class of 92 give up on them, the better. Then if they make it back on merit, I won't hate them. Simple as. So yeah, back to focus 10 then. Offside rule. I haven't had an awful lot from you guys on it. What do you guys think? What do you reckon should be done about the offside rule? Should we just keep it as it is and let VAR decide? A bit like what Luke is saying there, or should we, or should there be some kind of implemented change on the offside rule? What do you think? I'll wait. I'll wait, guys. Not to worry. I'll wait for you. Keep it as it is and let VAR decide. So see how football splits opinion so much. I mean, we got saying that, keep it as it is and let VAR decide. There should be clear daylight, should be a foot or footing on the ground, not like a dangling foot. Offside should be if the player gets a clear advantage, a kneecap is an advantage, but a whole leg is. So is it a whole leg? Is it a foot on the ground? Is it clear daylight, or is it fine as it is and just let VAR decide? So I like having these chats. It does raise some debate. All right, here we go. Do you dislike Forest Green or Salford? Most hated team, Millwall or Leeds? Well, I'll tell you what, for Focus 10 is a bit of a drab one, isn't it, at the moment? I mean, I haven't had an awful lot back on it. I haven't sparked too much of a debate. So I think my dislike team the most is Forest Green, and always will be, as far as the lower league's concerned. I hate Man United as well. But but then you'd think because I hate Man United, I'd hate Salford because it's a Man United driven small team. Is it for the purposes of providing a place for Man United players to go out on loan? I don't know. Maybe Gary Neville and all that are trying to turn Salford into the new Man United, playing similar colours, that sort of shit. But Forest Green for me, it's just for what they stand for. It's not because they're vegans, it's because they're forcing veganism on people. And again, they got the king of the hippies, with all his money in charge, pouring money into it, losing 3 million a year, and taking a little village team, and that's all they are, a little village team who have been punching above their weight for a long time, being in the conference for as long as they have, taking this little village team and trying to turn them into something that they're far from. It's like trying to be Newport County and win the Champions League within 5 seasons. It's just madness. There's no way Newport County could be big enough without significant money to get up to that point and do that. Forest Green right now shouldn't be where they are on merit. They've just had so much money pumped into them, it's unbelievable. And Salford are going the exact same way. And the reason I hate Forest Green more than Salford is purely down to the fact that Forest Green are forcing veganism on everybody who goes there. There's nothing wrong with being green. There's nothing wrong with getting the admiration of the footballing world, for being as green as they are. Fair play to them for that. But when I'm turning up at their grounds and I want a chicken tikka pie or I want a beef burger, and I can't get that, I have to eat their vegan slop. I think it's wrong. I mean, if they came to a football ground and we took away all vegetarian options at other football grounds, that kind of bloke would cause uproar. It's the hypocrisy of it as well. There would be absolute uproar. So there we go. Thanks for that, Luke. Completely thrown us off course. And I think Millwall will probably hate it more than Leeds because of the naughty shit they done back in the days. Much as Leeds have always been dirty and their fans have obviously been scoundrels in certain places, Millwall just completely took the piss back in the day. Yeah, but would you still hate Salford if Liverpool legends had them like Dalglish, Gerrard? Yes, I would. 100%, because it's what they stand for. It's pumping money into a small club to turn them into a bigger club when there are big clubs falling out of the league. Obviously, they're falling out of the league on merit. Your Hartlepools and your Notts Counties, your Chesterfields. You're talking about your big clubs playing non-league football. You're talking about the small clubs like your Salfords and your Forest Green who aren't there on merit. Now, if they built it, if they managed to build a fan base by marketing the club right, if they earned money through goals and by acquiring good players with good recruitment and selling them on for a good profit, yes. I completely understand, doing it completely on merit, a bit like the county did. I mean, people can say you're a hypocrite, Les Gadding pumped money into the club, but I'm sorry, but Les Gadding got involved during the promotion season, not at the beginning. So the majority of our squad we had, so the squad that got us up into those top few spots was already there before Les Gadding even got involved. It was the move to Roddy Parade that sealed that promotion. That's the thing. If anyone asked me between Les Gadding's money and going to Roddy Parade was the most important step to take. Keeping Justin Edinburgh there was also a big one. Getting to Wembley the season before to raise that extra bit of capital was massive. We lost our two best players that summer and still got promoted because of how good the recruitment was. That's a massive, massive thing. Yes, Les Gadding put a couple of grand in right at the end to bring in Christian Jolly, but that was it. That's all Scadding did to get us back into the Football League. To keep us in the Football League and make us competitive, he put a couple of $100,000 into the playing budget every season. But that's no different to what a standard League Two chairman should be doing anyway. We play off a £250,000 deficit every season, as fan owned. So, you know what I mean? So there's no hypocrisy there. So anyway, where am I? Brooklyn Lee, I reckon VAR should only be used by your team captain and only have certain amount like tennis. I completely agree with that. Challenges, I think it's brilliant. Challenges, having a series of challenges to put forward to your ref, like the tennis doing with their umpire, like American football, they can challenge a call anytime they want. But if you're wrong, you lose a challenge. If you're right, you keep your challenge. You get 2 challenges a half. That could work, It really could. So Luke County, hate Forest Green. Good on you, mate. Is it legal to only have vegan food? It shouldn't be. We're going to win the Champions League. There's nothing wrong with Dirty Leeds, Jesus. Are you interested in Welsh League? I would be if the FAW were. Will Lukaku be a success in Serbia A? Syria A. You still spell it wrong, Luke. I think he will be, yeah. I think he'll tear the place up. It'd be a bit like Ibrahimovic did. WPL, Welsh Premier League. So if the FAW cared about it, then I would too. You said Millwall would know those fans back then must be all granddads now. Not all of them. Some of them would have been younger back then and, are still into all that sort of stuff now. But hey, there we go. What would we do if a billionaire came and took over Newport County? If a billionaire came and took over Newport County, what I would ask of him is to put in enough money to get us a stadium of our own. Not to fill our playing budget and try and get us to the Premier League at what's playing at Rodney Parade in the current state that it's in. If he was to invest in the club, right, do it as a chairman's loan, and basically not request any money back until we're self-sustainable and in a position where we can pay it back. I wouldn't expect someone to just play billions into our football club to take us up to a place that we shouldn't belong. I'm completely against money, money advantages in football. And I think that at the end of the day, too many clubs have benefited from it, like Man City and Chelsea up in the top end. Bristol Rovers have been benefiting from it for the last couple of seasons, although they've not been able to push themselves up with it. Eastleigh were trying to push themselves into the Football League but couldn't. With their money, Forest Green eventually succeeded. Salford did it at the first attempt. Fylde are trying to do it. I think if you've got a big club, you've got a big fan base, and you can do it on merit, good enough for you. Like we did, like Luton ended up having to come back into it, like Tranmere had to do. They didn't have any money owners. They just had the size of their club, the size of their fan base, and got the money together to get the right manager and the right team to get themselves back into the Football League. It's as simple as that. So, where would the stadium? Oh, first of all, can you say any shock winner of the top 5 leagues in Europe? A shock winner? Possibly Leipzig in Germany. If Bayern Munich, basically where I think they probably will where they will be. Bayern Munich, I think, got a very aging team. They got a few good younger players, but not that they're not as fresh, shall we say, as they used to be. With your Schweinsteigers and your Thomas Mullers, your Robins and your Ribery's playing for them. I mean, even Lewandowski's getting on there, So I just can't see Bayern Munich being as strong this season as they have been in the past. But we'll see if anybody can stand up to the plate. I mean, Dortmund or Leipzig. I think the Bundesliga is where you could see the shock. I think Juventus will win the Serie A, although the Lukaku signing could put Inter into the frame. Napoli look like after a good pre-season they could be strong in Italy. Spain, what's going to happen there? I mean, Barca, they'll probably win the La Liga. Real Madrid are in turmoil at the moment. I think they need better players and they need to utilise Gareth Bale as best they can. So in the French league, there's not going to be a shock there. It's going to be Paris though. In England, Liverpool or Man City. So Zabrowski signed for Chippenham. Happy days. Do you know where Christian Jolly is? He's playing for Woking at the moment, as far as I'm aware. So good luck to him there. Anyway, guys, a few of you in. We've only got 4 likes. Everybody get the thumbs up on the go. That would be great. And we're going to kick off with my questions to you guys. And whilst you guys get the thumbs up on the go, I'll get the first question out. So, first question, first of all, Luke Haiti, is the European Super Cup a waste of time? Who wins Wednesday? I don't think it's a waste of time. I think it is a good thing to see who's the better of the 2 European trophy winners. It's a good thing. It's always been around. It's always been thought very highly of. I think Liverpool will win. I don't think Chelsea have got a hope in hell, especially after the way they played today against Man United. I think Liverpool will absolutely rip them to shreds. But there we go. So talking about Liverpool, this is my first question for you guys. Will Liverpool regret not spending this window? taking into consideration Lallana and Oxlade-Chamberlain both came back from long-term injuries. Joe Gomez was out for a long period last season as well. Origi has come into his own and it's been like having a new signing there. So they haven't spent, but will they regret it? Will they regret not spending? Marcus May says no. I personally don't think they will, although I do feel that if they'd have signed Coutinho, that would have filled a bit of a void from last season. For me, the thing that tripped Liverpool up last season in the league was not having enough goal-scoring midfielders. Now, if they put a goal-scoring midfielder into their ranks, like Coutinho, who's proven at Liverpool, that could have been the difference between them winning the league and not winning the league. But EW Labs are saying no, because City would have won anyway. Well, we don't know that yet. I mean, judging by their first game, yes, they're going to tear the Premier League apart again, but I suppose you could say the same about Liverpool. So Matthew Marsden, yeah, I think so, because they were behind City last year and haven't spent, but City have, so I think they will fall behind again. I think Liverpool grew as the season went on. I think Liverpool bottled it a bit around about the Christmas period. I think they came into it well, but they finished the season strong. And I think they started last season a lot stronger than they finished the season before. So they're doing, as they're going around in a circle, they're strengthening and strengthening and strengthening. So now they've had a really good start with the 4-1 win against a team that is fancied this year with Norwich. So they started really strongly. So have City. City will be City. City, no matter what, will be up in the top end, no matter what. And, they'll be very comfortably in top 4. But I honestly think with Liverpool will be stronger at the beginning of this season than they were at the beginning of last season. And they get stronger and stronger and stronger as the season progresses. They have their little hiccup somewhere. City had theirs last season as well. They lost 4 matches. They only lost 2 the season before. So City moved slightly backwards last season. Will they catch that back up, or will they move backwards again? Will Liverpool, I think, will be even stronger. City, if they move backwards, you could see a swing there somewhere. But I think they've spent some money. They've highlighted their weaknesses from last year. I honestly think City will push even further and push towards the 100-point mark. I think Liverpool will also hit that 100-point mark with them. So Luke County, yes, world-class midfielder. Spurs and Man City bought 2 top centre mids this summer. Always need to improve. Completely agree. Adi Aziz will guide Manchester United to the Premier League title. I know he looks a bit like Wan-Bissaka, but that's not Aziz. Your top 4 for Premier League. Liverpool, Man City, obviously. And if you're going to judge it based off of that, there, if Tottenham lose Eriksen, Tottenham will fall out the top 4. Arsenal will come in. Chelsea, I think, are going to fall out the top 4. Man United could come in. So that's what I'm saying. City, United, Liverpool, Arsenal. Not in that order. Squads win titles, not 1 to 11. Definitely, 100%. Adi Aziz is much better than Wan-Bissaka. What, hairstyles, or surely you don't mean football. I like Adi Aziz. He's a lovely bloke. Fair play to him. So, on to the next question. West Ham obviously lost 5-0 at home to City. Is that cause for panic for them? Or do you not read into losing to a team like Man City in the opening day, even if it was 5-0 at home? So what do you think about that one then, guys? Rude Hullet. Where's Nick? Is Nick still in? No, this is where Nick usually goes, is when they take the piss out of him for his rude Hullet. Fucking hell. So what do you reckon? Should West Ham panic after losing 5-0? No, it's Man City. West Ham would always start badly and come back. Fair play. They started crap last year. Who's Adi Jorgensen? I don't get it. Wait and see how they get on next week versus Brighton. That's a good shape. The Brighton started very, very well. West Ham against Brighton. That could be the tester for them. Not for me. Still 37 games to go. Nick Muller, my joke. It was a very good one. And it's one that will continue on this for a long, long time, I'm sure. Remember from before, the Finnish Prem striker? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, some time ago, mind. Should Chelsea worry losing 4-0? Well, I've got a question about Chelsea. I think we'll touch on Chelsea when we come to that question. I think now, West Ham are a mid-table team. Man City will pick many teams apart this season. Yeah, point taken, and completely agree with that. I made a joke about Aid Jorgensen when me and Callum were joking about AD Marsh-Brown. All right, okay, good one. Right, and next question is Christian Eriksen on his way out. Started on the bench yesterday, came on and completely changed the game. Surely Pochettino isn't that dumb that he wouldn't have realised Eriksen would be the driving force behind their attack in that game. Did he just underestimate Aston Villa and think he'd get away with playing Harry Winks instead of him? But there was a lot of talk of Eriksen on the way. I know Real Madrid have been in for a big central midfielder. I know Pogba's been on the radar. Also, obviously, Eriksen. Could Eriksen end up at Madrid? Is it true that the rumours are that Eriksen is looking for a new challenge as well? Who knows? But, I think Tottenham will be a blow to them if they lose him. And if that's the case, that's where I'm tipping that they finish outside the top four. Because Eriksen is that driving force. Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah. In the centre of that midfield. So Ellis Williams doesn't think he's going. Matthew Marston, I don't think so. So you don't think he's going either. Should have replaced Modric at Real Madrid, but they want Pogba. He would be good at Bayern. Jorgen Eriksen would be good at Bayern, or Pogba would be good at Bayern. I'm not sure what you mean there, mate. So, yes. Okay, we'll go with that then. So the next question for you then, because yes, Eriksen would be good at Bayern. Nice one. So the next question then, guys. Was Lampard's team selection his undoing today? He obviously played a lot of youngsters and put a lot of experienced players on the bench. Kante, I know, wasn't 100% fit, but he's fit enough to be on the bench. He should be fit enough to play the game. Maybe it could have been a case of playing him, and then when he's struggling later on, if Chelsea are in the lead or something like that, and they could bring someone on who could maintain their lead, they could have taken him off. So Chelsea's midfield is shocking. I think you had to get Kovac. What's his name? Kovacevic. I think that's his name, isn't it? I think you had to get him because he's the only one you were able to sign legally, and you needed someone because of obviously losing Hazard. You had to bring in someone. Obviously, Pulisic coming in off loan is obviously a blessing, but he should have started today. Giroud should have started. You've got to play your best players, and Tammy Abraham, he's a good forward, but was he ready to lead the Chelsea line against Manchester United? At Old Trafford on the opening game of the season? No, I don't think so. Yes, could never understand the hype around Tammy and Mount and not starting Alonso. Well, Alonso is another one for you. And Emerson's a midfielder, is he not? Ellis Williams, Man City 1-0 to Arsenal, Man United 3rd or 4th. Good shape, potentially. Although I just got a funny feeling about Liverpool again this season. And I predicted at the beginning of last season that Liverpool would finish top of the Premier League and Man City would win the Champions League, and I got that arse about face. I think that's how it's going to go down this year. I honestly think City will take the Champions League this year, Liverpool will take the Premier League. But I do think that if City had beaten Tottenham and advanced in the Champions League, that could potentially cause them to slip up and give that point or two away. That would have seen Liverpool win it. So I think going out the Champions League to Tottenham the way they did is what got them over the line for the Premier League. I actually believe that. We should never have beaten Chelsea that easily. No one should beat Chelsea that easily. Didn't agree with taking off Barkley. Thought he was their best player. Yeah, substitutions were wrong. I think the starting lineup was wrong, and then when he did his substitutes, Kante coming on when he was 3-0. What was the point? If he wasn't fit enough to start the game, what's the point of bringing him on when you're 3-0 down? No, you had to have been fit enough to have started. George WBA is in. Happy days. How's it going, mate? So the next question, guys, is for the Premier League now, right? Is the early deadline So the early deadline, where all the others have their extended one as per usual, and England have theirs early, is that English football shooting itself in the foot potentially? Because it's basically where some key players could put in transfer requests from this point to the end of the month, and end up getting them moved to Italy or Spain. So go back to the end of August. I agree. I think doing it for the first weekend, I think you could play players on the first weekend and think, oh shit, he's not good. And then think, I've still got some left in the pot, let's go and get another. Or, there could be a player who comes to you and is unhappy, I want to move on. You've got to be able to replace that player. So, yeah, Matthew Madison is saying they should go back at the end of August. Labs is saying all they care about is the money, so they don't care. Blame Wenger because he suggested this. Wenger's fault. Yep. It's all blame Wenger. He's the new Luis Suarez. Suarez got blamed for everything. Wenger's now blamed for everything. Yeah. Yes, it's lets Europe poach Prem players. A few will be unsettled. I think Pogba will be unhappy. Could unsettle players from other teams trying to buy them, want to go. The other English club won't be able to sign another. So basically, that's the point I'm trying to make. You lose a player because he wants to leave. You can't replace them. You've got a big void, which you're in a position where you can't really fill it. So it's no good to you. Absolutely no good. And I think they should revert back. And I don't know why they voted for it in the first place, because surely that was a topic for debate. Wenger did originally suggest it because he said it messes with new players' fitness or something. How? How can that happen? The only way the English football should have done it is if it was a European thing and all of the European deadline days were on the same day. That's the only way the English league should have agreed to it. Anyway, on that one, I'm glad that you guys agree. So, mentioned Brighton earlier. Who actually tipped Brighton to beat Watford 3-0? Who would have tipped Brighton to have won 3-0 at Watford opening game of the season? So, Cardiff's first choice goalkeeper is out for 2 months, so that's Etheridge, yeah. Joe Day only made the bench yesterday. I hope he's not the third choice now. It might be something to do with him conceding 3 goals last week. Maybe the manager thought he could have still done better. So Brighton still think Brighton are going down. Well, there's a good start for Graham Potter, of course, but is he the right man for it? It better not be. He was not at fault for any of them. So yeah, that's correct. But then the way you see it, the way anyone would see it if they didn't see the game, is Joe Day comes off the bench. Cardiff are winning 1-0. And obviously Etheridge goes off injured. Cardiff lose 3-2. So within the last half hour, 3 goals conceded. Right man, terrible squad. Should never have sacked Houghton. Completely agree. I think signing Aaron Moy is a good bit of business for them. Joseph B.A. Morpay is a great signing for Brighton, to be fair. Yeah. I think they have got a couple of better players than last time. So fair play to them for that. So, are Brighton going down? Maybe not. We'll see. Right then. Here's one for you guys, a bit of a tester for you then. Pick one promotion cert. So someone who is a cert for promotion from the Championship, League 1, League 2 and National League. So Joseph Reel is in. How's it going, Joseph? You're right, mate? So yeah, one promotion cert from the Championship, League 1, League 2 and National League. So what I did in my bets, I got West Brom for Championship promotion, I got Sunderland for League 1, I've got Mansfield for League 2, and I've got Chesterfield for National League. So EW Labs saying Fulham, Sunderland, Mansfield and Wrexham. They have had a decent... Oh no, they lost to Dover in the end though, didn't they? So that decent start isn't so decent anymore. But I wouldn't mind I wouldn't mind the Four Fingers to come back, to come back into the same league as us, because I do miss that Welsh derby. I miss that hostility that we used to have with them. So West Brom, Ipswich, Mansfield, Sutton. There's an interesting choice. Fulham went under-achieved because of an inexperienced manager. I suppose many could have said the same about Newport County, mind you. But we'll wait and see. So what's everybody else saying as far as, so Pompey, Plymouth and Barnet? Who's for Championship then? Oh, you already said West Brom, didn't you? Yeah. So Leeds, Sunderland, Plymouth and Yeovil. Well, Marcus, you always were going to go for Leeds, when you. Sunderland, Plymouth is a good shout, actually. Sunderland, yes. Yeovil, interesting. I was thinking with Yeovil, they may struggle, but, because they're a smaller club. But, they were up in the Championship not too long ago. Lincoln, 2-0s in a row, second in League One. They could be in the Championship soon enough. And all them jobs that, what's-his-face have turned down in the Championship, it could be a stroke of genius for him, because he may be in there with Lincoln anyway. It's a good shape. So, the final question I got for you guys then. What are your thoughts on week 1 of English Premier League VAR? I think it was great in the Liverpool game. I think the argument being put forward about taking the passion out of the game, I think it's true to a degree, but I think it's worth taking that little bit out if it means that we're going to get the right call. I've always maintained that, but do you think it's been smooth? Has VAR been a smooth thing for the Premier League after week 1? And that's my last question. I'm flipping this over, because once you guys have had time to digest that question and give me your answers, we're moving on to the trivia section. So Matthew Madsen, I think Blackpool will go up from League One. They've had a good start. It's a good shout. Marcus May, instead of Leeds, I'll go Fulham then. Maybe both of them will go up. As long as West Brom go up, I don't mind, because I've got them on my bet. So apart from the delay in the Liverpool match, it was a success, I'd say. But then that wasn't a VAR-related thing. That was a headset failure. So a success. So the only thing I don't like is that you can't really fully celebrate. Well, you can, because I've celebrated many goals that have been disallowed. Yeah, it may take a little bit longer for you to have them scrubbed off. But then I've had many a time where, but what about when referees consult linesmen and you don't know what's going to happen? That's happened for a long, long time in football. So VAR, for me, is no different to that. But anyway, as soon as I get a couple more answers back from you guys, it's trivia time. I've been looking forward to this one. I've got some corkers for you this time. That happened yesterday versus Millwall. So basically, VAR is better when it's relayed to fans. Yeah, when people know what's being checked and why it's being checked, yes. So obviously, I take it in the Millwall game, the referee had to consult his linesman to see whether he gave a goal or not. So things like that happen all the time. So what's the difference between a referee consulting a video ref than consulting a linesman when it comes to disallowing a goal? Yes, it may happen a little bit more often, but to say it never happened beforehand would be untrue. Completely and utterly untrue. Anyway, I think it's time for trivia now. What do you reckon? Yeah, let's get on with it, shall we? Who's up for the trivia now? So, let's say I got some good ones here, and with two of them, there's a few add-on questions as well. So, yeah, well done, Luke, getting his answer in early. Unfortunately, you're incorrect. So, question number 1 then, guys. Who are the youngest and oldest managers who have managed in the Premier League? So, who has managed whilst being the oldest, and who has managed whilst being the youngest? Rude Hullet. Well then, labs. I had a feeling someone would say that, but unfortunately, no. How youngest? No. Actually, this question is... Oh, no, sorry, no. This is right. Roy Hodgson? Nope. Roy Hodgson is not. Fergie and Eddie Howe? Nope. Ferguson is not correct. Roy Hodgson is not correct. Eddie Howe is not correct. So, Wenger, no. It's not. Warnock, not Fergie. It's not Warnock either. The oldest manager and the youngest manager. Paul Lambert is incorrect. There we go. Marcus May's got Sir Bobby Robson. Sir Bobby Robson was the oldest. And at which club was he managing whilst he was the oldest? Who knows the club? That's an easy one, I know, but you know, it's still an add-on. The other one, if you ever get it, I don't think you're going to get the young one. Harry Redknapp looks about 100. So Bobby Robson was the Newcastle manager. I think he was something like 75, something like that. Scott Parker is not the youngest. The youngest manager I will give to you, or I'll give you a clue. He's Welsh. The youngest is Welsh. Lampard. Not very Welsh to me, but you know, I think anyone in Wales would have given anything to have Lampard. So that's not correct, guys. That's not correct at all. There we go, Coleman. Chris Coleman. And who was he manager of? This is one that you may not get. The Newcastle one with Bobby Robson was easy. But who was Coleman manager of? So when he was in Giggs, when he was in caretaker. Well, no, Giggs wasn't the youngest either, no. So no, he wasn't Swansea manager either. It wasn't Fulham manager. It wasn't Coventry. Think of the last club he played for. The very last club. So hello, I'm a Swindon fan. Nice work on the vid, bro. Happy days, thank you. Nice work on the 2 opening wins. Well done for you on that. But obviously when you play against us, you know, it's all going to be doom and gloom. Actually very good friends with a Swindon fan. My mate Henry is featured on a video with me on a build-up to a Newport versus Swindon match. So yeah, check him out if you got the time to do that at some point. But anyway, we're still looking for this. Right, who was Chris Coleman manager of when he was the youngest manager? Thank you. Wasn't expecting to win. No, it looks like you've done well. You know, 2 really good games for you. A lot better than last year, obviously. Anyway, Chris Coleman was the manager of who when he was the youngest manager in the Premier League? QPR, no. Similar colours. Same colours, blue and white, and not a London club either, no. Nowhere near London, but was in blue and white. I'm sure you're going to get it at some point. No, not Brighton, no. Premier League, Chris Coleman, basically, I'm quite sure this was his first manager job as well. Reading, no. I said nowhere near London. Reading's right by London, isn't it? Well, not right by it, but close enough. I'm going to have to just give this one to you guys. I had a feeling it'd take me a while to get it, but I didn't think it'd take you guys this long. And especially you, Luke. I mean, you're usually quite on the ball with this sort of stuff. I'm glad that I'm testing you well. Ipswich is incorrect again. Brum, nope. Even further away from London than Birmingham or Ipswich. Probably about the distance put together from Birmingham and Ipswich to go to where he was manager. Blue and white. Blue and white. Borough. No, Borough. Red and white. Ah, guys, come on. Blue and white. Premier League. I'll give you a clue. Not Everton either, no. I'll give you a clue. They have been Premier League champions before. They've been Premier League champions before. Blue and white, and they've been Premier League champions. And not light blue. They're not recent champions. They've only ever done it once. There we go. I pretty much put on a plate for you there, didn't I? There we go. Blackburn. Yes, he was the Blackburn manager, I think, at a very, very young age. I think it was only about 32, 33, something like that. But there you go. I'm glad you all got that. We can move on now. Number two. How many clubs have never been relegated from the Premier League who were in the first season of it? So basically from being in the 1992-93 season, how many clubs from then have never been relegated from the Premier League? So how many? Well, you may as well name them. I suppose, because Everton's correct, Arsenal's correct, United's correct. So what teams? So Liverpool's correct. I'm waiting for someone to say one that I got a feeling that someone's going to say, and it's going to be very, very wrong. Arsenal, United, Everton, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea. That's it. Matthew Marsden's got them all. 6. So 6 teams that were in the 1992-93 Premier League season, the first ever Premier League season. 6 teams, and that's exactly what I'm on about, lads. Yeah, I had a feeling someone might say City, but they didn't just get relegated from the Premier League, but they got relegated from the English First Division into the Second Division, which is now Championship to League One. And they were the first team to ever go on the what I call the League One springboard. But there you go, 6 teams. That wasn't quite as hard, I know, but you know, it got people thinking a little bit anyway. And that was what I was aiming for. I was waiting for someone to say it was City. Anyway, right. So who remembers when the League Cup and FA Cup finals were being played at when the League Cup finals and FA Cup finals were being played at Millennium Stadium? Who remembers that little period? Nice little period, mind. Who can tell me which 5 clubs were the only 5 clubs to win the League Cup at the Millennium Stadium? 5 English clubs won the English League Cup at the Millennium Stadium whilst the finals were being played there. Only 5. Who were those 5? There we go. There's a really good one. I like that. Roses are red, violets are blue. If it wasn't for the Arabs, they'd be in League Two. Perfect. So George WB says Man United. Correct. That's one of the 5. Chelsea and Borough are another 2. So Middlesbrough, Chelsea, Man United. There's 2 others. I reckon you're going to get the one, but I don't think you're going to get the other. I think you're going to struggle on this one. I think you're going to struggle. Then there are 2 more. Oh no, Liverpool is one of them, yeah. So there we go, there's 1 more. 1 more team who won the League Cup. Newport County, if only, eh? Millwall, incorrect. There's 1 other team. With Adi Aziz as the striker. No. The Gunners, no. Arsenal didn't win. They won the FA Cup a few times, didn't they? But they didn't win the League Cup. I'll wait for you guys to come up with the answer. But at the end of the day, guys, this is going to be a tough one for you. Do you think we'll beat Gillingham? I think we'll beat Gillingham. I got a funny feeling. They've had a bad start. We tend to do well against you know, teams from League One in cup games, except for Oxford, of course. Oxford absolutely battered us. What's the question? So 5 clubs won the League Cup at the Millennium Stadium during the period when the finals, FA Cup and League Cup finals and playoff finals were all being played at the Millennium Stadium. 5 teams won it. So far we've had 4. Liverpool, Middlesbrough, Chelsea, Man United. 1 more team won it. Was it 2004? I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head, Matthew. Sorry, mate. But we're looking for 1 other team. 1 other team. Everton. No, it wasn't Everton. I'm going to give you a little bit of a clue. You guys were stuck on this team earlier. That's too easy, isn't it? Leicester's incorrect. Leicester won it at the old Wembley. There we go. Labs have got it. It was Blackburn. Blackburn Rovers were the team, the 5th of those teams who won the League Cup at the Millennium Stadium. And I got the final one now then, guys. The final question. And there is a bit of an add-on on this one. In English Premier League history, only 3 players have won the Golden Boot with 2 different clubs. Name them. And then see if you could name the clubs they played for as well. So only three strikers have won, or 3 players, should we say, have won the Golden Boot, the Premier League Golden Boot, with 2 different clubs. Name them and the teams they played for. So there we go. The first one is banged out straight away by Labs. Shearer for Blackburn and Newcastle. Matthew Marsden, Van Persie, correct, yes, for Arsenal and Man United. Adi Aziz, Liverpool and Cardiff, no chance. So Michael Owen is incorrect. Marsh Brain is obviously incorrect. Come on, lads, let's be serious now. Tom King, yeah, well done. So there's 1 more, and this is the toughest one actually. I had a feeling you'd get the other 2 quite quickly. But who's the other one? Who's the other one? Michael Flynn, yeah. Oh, well done. There is 1 more. And the clues aren't going to come so quick. Cole. No, but that is a very good shade. Unlucky there. Cole. If it's Andy Cole, yeah, because you would have thought it would have been at Newcastle and Man United. But no, we didn't do it at Newcastle. Actually, I don't think he won the Golden Boot at Man United. I'm not sure. So no, it's not Andy Cole. It's not Andy Cole. He may have won the Golden Boot at Man U once or maybe twice, but he didn't do it at Newcastle. I know that much. Sheringham is incorrect. It's a good shape, mine, but it's incorrect. Right then. Cole, again, Cole's incorrect. Come on, guys. Les Ferdinand is incorrect. Am I going to have to give you a clue now? I may have to give you a clue. Right. So the third one is the same nationality as one of the other answers for this question. So the third one is the same nationality as one of the other answers. Sutton is incorrect. Fowler's incorrect. Some good shapes, mind. You know, we've had good Premier League goal scoring seasons, but no, they're not quite correct, unfortunately. People's not quite correct. So Rooney's incorrect. Although a good shape, mind. I think that is a good shape, Rooney, but no. 38 goals for Newcastle in all competitions, not in Premier League. Unless he may have done it at Newcastle and didn't do it at Man United. I mean, he scored a lot of goals from Man United, but maybe other players scored more. Like, he was directly in line in the same thing as Alan Shearer, of course, and he had the likes of Robbie Fowler scoring goals, and the likes of Zola was playing at the time. Torres is incorrect. He was crap at Chelsea, though, wasn't he? You know, he was really good at Liverpool. I don't think he ever won the Golden Boot at Liverpool. Owen's incorrect. Van Nistelrooy, I know he's only at United, but then you're certainly on the right track with regards to the clue that I gave you. You are on the right track with regards to the clue. But obviously Van Nistelrooy only played in England for Man United. Rude hellet. Oh my God. That's never going to get old, is it? Nick, what have we done? Started something here, my friend. So, Dutch. He might be. He might be Dutch. He might be. And like I said, I don't think you were going to get this one right. The only real clue I could really give you. Boom! No clues needed. There we go. Luke. Always rely on Luke to get the really, really tough ones right. Hasselbank. But Luke, follow that up with the teams he played for. So Hasselbank is the correct answer. Easy. Yeah, why didn't you do it first of all then if it was so easy there, mate? Yeah? Right, who was the teams he played for and won the Golden Boot? Who was it he played for to win the Golden Boot? So Labs would have come in with the right answer according to him if Luke hadn't have jumped in there first. So who was he playing for to win the Golden Boot? Chelsea and Leeds. There we go, all done. And Nick Muller's coming in a little bit late. But yeah, it was Chelsea and Leeds. Chelsea and Leeds, there we go. Now guys, that's the end of the trivia, that's the end of the stream near enough. So yeah, Nick Muller's joke is going to live long in Taff live history, I'm sure, until next week, where you'll obviously use the joke again. Abs. Awesome. Now then guys, for those of you still here and stomach me talking nonsense for the last hour, I've gone ahead and I've started the Sky Sports Fantasy Football League for Taff Live viewers, where you come up against me and each other. So Matthew's joined it already. I did put a post out earlier, but for those of you who haven't got it yet, the pin number, get your pen and paper ready, is 846-4234. I'll say that again, 846-4234. That there is what you need to join the league if you're going to get involved in it. So Joseph is asking, you going any Wales games? I'd like to be able to. We'll have to wait and see. And Luke, I was going to point that out. Yep, the super chat was turned off. How silly of me. That's why people couldn't donate anything. But Luke has quite kindly donated £1.99 to us, and that is ever so kind of you. Thank you very much, Luke. Much appreciated, mate. And if any of you other guys out there that are still here with us right now want to follow suit, it would be massively appreciated. And you know your money's going to something good. So yeah, thank you, Luke, and thank you all for tuning in. It was a great stream. Thank you all for getting involved. And if we can get the subscribers up, hopefully we can do some kind of giveaway for you guys very soon. Anyway, thanks again all. Cheers for tuning in. See you again next week. Cheerio for now, and as always, up the county. Good night, everybody. Thanks again.